Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we have an exciting one because today we have a match, Tribe Gaming versus Cloud21, which is a German war clan. So this should be exciting, and this was for, I think, the Champions War League Elite Division. So it was 5v5 esports style, which means everyone has only one attack, which means if you get a 1 star or even 0 star, it hurts you a lot, and if you get 3 stars, even better. So we will take a look at a couple of attacks, or like at all of the attacks actually today. We will obviously like take a look at them after each other, and then in the end take a look at who actually won the war and how it ended up. One more thing which I will concentrate on in this video is about which clan castle is the best on defense at the moment, because in the last update there was like a nerf to the ice golems on defense, which is kind of important. So we will take a look at that. And if you guys would like to support me or my channel, make sure to go in your settings, in more settings, and at the bottom you can find the creator code. Whenever you're buying anything in game, like Go Pass, gems, or offers, you will support me and my channel. Thank you guys so much. And now let's get started with the first attack. As you guys can see, I had like a small blocker in front of the timer because I'm always part of the event. So it's really hard for me to watch every single war or like every single attack from the beginning, because we have to plan at the same time. Those wars are 1 hour wars, which means you have only 1 hour overall of the war, and there are special rules as well, which means after like 15 minutes the first attack has to come in. So you have to plan an attack at the same time a lot, which means it's kind of chaotic, and this means it's really hard for me to like record the gameplay. So I need to use the replays if I'm not streaming the wars, and that's what I'm not doing at the moment. So this is why we're using the replays. You can see in those wars more and more often people are using those anti-2-star bases, because like I told you guys in the beginning, if you have a 1-star somehow, it hurts you a lot. It hurts you freaking a lot. So this base is actually kind of like a well-known one. So let's see how Cloud21 can deal with it. I think you guys saw it multiple times on my channel already, because I'm using this still on iTzu in the Glamour League even, and it still defends a couple of times on 1-stars. It's a crazy good base, so if you guys would like to copy it, feel free to do so. That's another nice thing about this video. All of those bases which you can see over here are getting used in war, which means make sure to copy those. And you guys saw already in the background the big mistake basically which this attacker does, Crusader. He deployed his miners way too early, and they got like not into the core which he wanted to have them to go, because now he has nothing to activate the town hall. So this is actually getting really close on the 2nd star, because now the town hall is activated. The Hawk Riders are not pathing to the town hall. The only thing which is hitting the town hall right now is the Royal Champion. He's using a nice freeze on the town hall and the single front tower as well, using a heal spot just to make sure that his Royal Champion somehow is surviving, and this means he can take out the Town Hall, and we're not starting off with a 1-star, because that will be kind of boring and devastating as well at the same time. So we have a 2-star, but it's not the greatest percentage. So guys, what I wanted to tell you is, like I said, make sure to copy a couple of those bases if they're defending good, if you want to use them. Those bases of Cloud21 and us are pretty good, I think. So yeah, if you want to copy any of those, feel free to do so, especially because there's like not like a new base whatever title, so less likely people will copy those. But for now, on the second one, this is my attack, and let's concentrate more on the topic of the super troops, because like I said, there's a huge discussion right now kind of in the community. Super wall breakers, are they OP? Are they too weak? Which really no one is saying, but are they too weak or are they okay? What is like the main topic on them? And I'm using 2 in this attack. And to be honest, I would have liked to switch back to the normal wall breakers. Why exactly? On this wall break, I was not 110% sure that my wall breakers would target the right wall. I was pretty sure, but still sometimes like there could be, like we all know how Clash of Clans works, right? Like sometimes there are some things in the IE which we can't really expect. So sometimes you want to have like a wall breaker which is kind of testing the direction which the wall breaker is going. And for this wall break, no super wall breaker was needed, to be honest. Like, why should I use a super wall breaker over there? Like, that's not really needed at all. And this means I had to take 2. Otherwise, I could have taken the risk, obviously, as well. Seeing this attack right now, I think would was kind of obvious that my queen would go over there, but in the planning process, we were not 100% sure. So I don't know. I personally don't think they are OP. For my part, since I pushed in Legend League so many times and had so many attacks with wall breakers, I feel kind of safe most of the time with them if I'm like in practice and everything. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a tough topic. So maybe let's get to another topic, because on my queen charge I only needed 1 rage, which means I have like 2 rages for my hybrid, and you guys can already see it. This base is completely wrecked. And if I did not mention already, this blocker in the middle is, like I said, just to make sure that you guys are not seeing already from the beginning if this is a triple, if this is a time fail and stuff like that. So it should make it a bit more interesting. And as soon as we're getting into the end of the attack, I will always remove the blocker so you guys can see the time. We have 20 seconds left, and you can already imagine this won't be a time fail. This will be a crushing 3-star, and this means so far we're up 1 star, which means Cloud21 had a 2-star, we had a 3-star so far. So far it's looking good for us, which means Cloud21 is, they have to do something to tie it up again. Otherwise, we will take the lead. So let's take a look at their following up attack, and then we will talk about a bit more about the clan castle and what might be the best decision for that at the moment. This attack is going to be a queen charge hybrid attack as well, and this guy is using the super wall breakers as well and a jump spell, which is kind of interesting because normally you don't see those jump spells anymore too often, because most of the time you can basically do the same with the wall breakers, especially with the super wall breakers, because I feel like as soon as you're getting deeper into the base, it's more reliable, the wall breakers. I think that's fair to say. So let's see how we can do that. He's charging into the town hall. The P.E.K.K.A. sadly didn't really got too much value. I'm not really sure if the P.E.K.K.A. is really good funnel option. I feel like the Yeti most of the time is doing a better job, and sometimes even the normal Baby Dragon is. I'm not 100% sure. And now the jump spell is kind of crazy, to be honest, because why would he jump into the town hall compartment? I feel like there's no reason for that. He would have liked to jump more like this, because this means he has like access to the eagle and stuff like that. But with the jump location like he did, I don't really know if that was the best decision, to be honest. But what I've done instead anyway, I think I would have deployed a wall breaker like this as soon as this building is gone, and this would target this wall breaker, like with this wall section. So he could have accessed everything, which he already did with this jump. So it would have been a true space instead of like a 2 spell cost spell, whatever. So but I think where this attack is like falling is that he's not using his queen ability. That's like the biggest mistake. And now the big problem which he has is that his troops are splitting. What exactly do I mean by this? In a queen charge hybrid attack, you're relying on both troops are working together. Why are they good together? Because every single troop, or like they're adding to each other weaknesses, or like strength, I would say, not weaknesses. But with having the hybrid on the clan castle and the ice combs and everything, and the hawk riders like keep going on, they're splitting, which means it's really unfortunate for the attacker, because now we have like hawk riders and then just like clean up miners. Another bad thing about this is that he actually cleared the core, but not the outside buildings. Like, it's really hard for him to right now pick up percentage, even though this base, like, it looks that most of the base is already gone, which it is. But there are a couple of outside defenses which just prevent him from getting any more percentage. And this is kind of the key, especially when you're planning and everything. And you always need something like a backup plan, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I still forgot to talk about the clan castle. Great job, iTzu. But we have plenty more attacks to go. So far, Cloud21 is 0 out of 2, which means like 2 stars. And we are so far 1 out of 1. Nick is coming in to hopefully improve that to 2 out of 2. So let's see what he's doing. And now he's bringing the dragons. And maybe now we can talk a bit more about the clan castle, because I feel like it's actually a pretty big topic. So you have a couple of options right now, like ice golems obviously is one of the strongest things still. But I feel like you still need a bit of a variety. Like, you can't always drop the ice golems or the lava hound in there. You sometimes need like a troll CC, like archers, because I think they're pretty strong actually, and they're way more annoying, especially when you're trying to do a Yeti blimp. Because nowadays those Yetis are not, like the Yeti mites are not doing the clan castle anymore, And this means sometimes you have like split CCs, which basically means you have like the first 20 archers maybe coming out, but not the second half, which means the attacker has to decide, is he dropping the poison early or not? If he's not dropping the poison early or like late, you have like a huge delay. Like a queen which has to take out 20 archers, it takes some time. And it takes way more time than actually taking out 3 ice golems with the poison, for example. Because like 3 ice golem CCs are getting lured like in seconds. So this is kind of important thing, and I feel like this is something which a lot of people should still watch out for, and a lot of people are underestimating the archers. But let's get back to the attack, because this attack is a beauty. We have the dragons coming in. I showed you guys with a couple of drawings how the sweeper setup was and why he actually took the entry into the town hall. He's dropping the freeze, the second freeze on the wizard tower a second too late, which means he lost tons of bats at the eagle, but the main objective of the bats were taking out the eagle, which he perfectly did. By the way, did you guys notice the 300 IQ archer at the top? He placed it in the range of the mortar to make sure that he could lure the clan castle over, because there was nothing, like he couldn't place any archers at the backside of this base because everything was covered. So he placed it in the range of the mortar to make sure that he could lure the clan castle away. And now the next move is he lured the clan castle behind this line, which basically means that he has not get rid of, there's no reason for him to get rid of the clan castle, because how Clash of Clans works is you need to get rid of the buildings. All of the livings in there, you can leave them alive, like heroes, defensive clan castles and stuff like that. You do not need to kill them. You can just like put them behind the last building, and troops will just ignore them. They just have to take out the buildings and nothing else. That's kind of the key. So nicely done by Nick over here, especially the 300 IQ archer on the top on the mortar. I hope you guys saw it, because that one was like, damn, that was a clutch archer over there pulling out the CC. So we had to do something with that. So luring it over with the 300 IQ archer and then like putting it behind the last building. That was the beauty of an attack. So let's check out the next attack, which means Daniel of Cloud21 is coming in on Lexnos, and he's going to do a Queen Charge Hawk Rider attack. So let's see how this will finish up. And what he's doing, he's starting off with the Yeti Blim, which is a really popular opener right now. And the next thing is going to be the Queen Walk from the bottom. And, well, he's looting out the clan castle, a couple of archers with the Lava Hound. And, well, he will use the early poison, and everything should be fine. Then he will try to force his queen inside. Like, the goal for him is to take out the town hall and give his troops a little more space, basically. And not, like, as soon as the tower is down, you have one of the first stars already. This means one of the most important defenses are down, and you have already most of the time the second star. Those are, like, the key things. So what he's trying to take out with this is the king should force his queen inside to make sure that the town is getting taken out. King ability is getting used, and this means the queen should get forced in. So far it's looking great for him. So let's see how the queen is stepping, and then he will deploy the Hawk Riders really soon, most likely. So the queen is going for the expo, and then she should go for the town hall. Everything so far is looking great. Expo is getting taken out, and now the queen is doing, wait, what? Okay, you can see it on the rage. You can see it on the rage. He did not expect his queen to go where she went. That's kind of crazy. And now the queen is actually going inside, but he started over with the Hawk Riders. I think this is not the best decision. I don't think that the Hawk Riders on this part are great. The reason for that is, take a look at the the targets which the queen has, because the queen needs some, the queen needs to take out something. And what he's doing right now, he's taking out everything with the Hawk Riders, which the queen actually could have taken out as well. So there's nothing for the queen to do right now. Like, she's beating a wall, doing basically nothing, and making her kind of useless. So if he would have entered from the left side with the Hawk Riders, I think it would have been way better. But right now, like I said, this queen is beating some walls and it's basically not having any queen right now. And this is nothing you want to have. You always want to have your queen doing something useful. And I think even with this being kind of like a messy attack with how the queen went, it's not on his side. Like, that the queen went this direction was really hard to tell. So was kind of unlucky, but I think the Hawk deployment was in the end the thing which killed him. And once again, you can see that he cleared out the core and didn't took out the outside buildings, which means once again, it's not the best percentage. So far, it's looking really good for us. We are 2 out of 2. We have 6 stars, and Cloud21 have 6 stars as well, but they attacked already 1 time more than we did. So if you would triple the next attack, it would be already kind of over. So let's see if we close up the door or we will leave it open. So this is going to be an interesting one. So let's see who's going to be next and what attack he's going to choose. Next one to attack is going to be Lex, and he's taking revenge on Daniel who just attacked him, and he is going with the Queen Shot Hybrid as well. I feel like Queen Shot Hybrid is still like the perfect mix of being a kind of easy strategy, but still having the Queen Walk in there, which is like the most fun thing for most of the competitive players, I think. So it's not too hard to execute, and at the same time you have like a fancy Queen Walk in there, so you can feel special and everything, and that's how it works kinda. One thing which unfortunately happened, Lex misdropped his rage, which means he had to use the rage and the queen ability, which is kind of fortunate because you can see it, the queen's supposed to charge into the core basically of this base, which means there are tons and tons of damage for his queen, so queen ability would have been kind of nice over here. But still, so far the opener looks good, except the rage, the queen ability. But let's see if he can still make it. He's using the king and the siege barracks on the right side to make sure that his queen is actually going in, and the hybrids are actually going in as well. So those is like everything is funneling each other. That's kind of the thing which is happening right now. And now one more thing is when to use the warden ability, when you use your spells and everything, because you always need to be super careful with enemy heroes. Like enemy heroes are kind of super strong against your hybrid. So sometimes you should use the warden ability when you're going around there and like freezing them sometimes. So that's kind of important. And you can see queen is going down in the core. The rage would have been like not a change at all because the sweeper was on his healers. So there was so much damage this queen had to die basically. So he decided to use the rage on the hybrid, which was a good decision by him. And now it's getting, yeah, more and more Hawk Riders and Miners are dying, but he still has the Royal Champ ability, and there's not too much left standing. So, Royal Champ ability, Scatter Shot is taken out, the Inferno Tower is getting taken out, and the big difference between this attack and most of the attacks of Cloud21 is that even though all of the attack cleared the core, Lex was able to clear out the outside buildings as well, which means he's taking out he's getting way more percentage. So, yeah, I think with the queen ability still on top, this would have been an easy triple. So kind of unfortunate by Lex, but either way, nice recovery, nearly tripling with the swag ability of the queen. So nicely done, and I'm showing you guys once again the difference maker kind of with the percentage, because if you're failing not getting the 3-star, you always need to get the percentage. That's like super important. Like I'm telling you guys this always in Legend League as well, because the percentage is so important over there as well. So if you're failing or like not getting a 3-star, still try to get the high percentage. And this is what Lex showed perfectly, even though the beginning wasn't going as he planned it to be. He recovered perfectly, nicely done. So let's take a look at the next tech, which is going to be Bena from Cloud21, and this is going to be an Electron. So I'm super excited because Electron is most of the time super fun to watch. So let's see what he's doing. He's starting off with his king and queen at the bottom. I think he wants to take out the Scatter Shot and the Inferno Tower, using the next Ice Golem to make sure that his queen can actually reach out of this and like it's not getting melted by the defenses. A little bit unfortunate with the skeleton traps coming up, because this means the queen will take way more damage, especially with the Scatter Shot. So maybe it would have been worth it to freeze that, but the Scatter Shot is dealing so much damage, and now the Inferno Tower is still standing. That's kind of fortunate. The king at least is taking out the enemy Royal Champion, which means this is not looking too bad. And now the Electron is coming in. And to be honest, take a look at what exactly it's like is the value. I don't know if I was wrong, but isn't that like two ground exposed, I think. So I don't know if the value was enough to actually do Electron over there. I don't know. Let's see how the attack is going on. So far everything is looking pretty good, I think, except this one multi-inferno tower which is still standing. So let's see if he can somehow recover, freezing the sweeper, the warden and the inferno tower, which is good. Now using the warden ability nice and early. So far everything's looking good. Oh no! I think he actually used a freeze spell. No, he used a freeze, I think, on the tunnel, which already was dead. That's kind of fortunate. And now the eagle shots are coming in, and the eagle shots are dealing so freaking much damage. And this is kind of why, I don't know, Suilado is so free, or like Joan is so tough to do if you're not getting enough scatter shots or like the eagle out of the way. It's so tough because as soon as you're a little bit unlucky and the loons are getting targeted by the scatter shot or the eagle, and you can't freeze it in time, you have some huge problems. You have some huge problems over there, and that's what happened to Bane. So nice try on this plan. Would have been so cool if it could have worked, but either way, nicely done. And let's see what the next attacker can bring to the table. And then I think we have only 3 attacks to go, and then we will see already the result of the war. But so far, it's looking really good for Tribe. 2 out of 3, and on the other side we have Cloud21 with, I think, 0 out of 4. So let's see what is going to be the next attack. The next attack is going to be Elliot from Tribe, and he's trying the Queen Charge Hybrid as well. Like I said, it's super popular, especially most of the clans right now are not really 100% like deciding which way they want to go expo wise, because I feel like as soon as someone is having like 4 ground expos, it's making those Queen Charges so much tougher. So yeah, on this one he has a really nice opener with his Yeti Blim, taking already the first expo out, which means only 2 expos are like left on ground, which is already totally fine. He has 2 super wall breakers with him, which is looking good. He will try to wall break into the bomb tower location, so he's trying to make sure that his queen is like stepping in there and breaking the wall to the eagle. That's kind of the plan. So let's see how this works. Really nicely done with the Yeti Blimp. Like the value was crazy. And then I think the next step for him is to come in with a hybrid from the 1 o'clock side. So let's see how everything is going. Ice golems are down, and once again, like I said, as soon as you're having those Yeti blimps and everything, and you're luring out the clan castle, ice golems are feeling so weak. So I don't know. At least on those mass archer CCs, you sometimes can make sure that 1 or 2 troops are staying inside and like mixing up or like having the split CC, but tough call. Either way, the queen is stepping out of the compartment which he wanted her to go. Now she's back. She's back in the compartment where she's supposed to be. Nice rage over there. And now the Hawk Rider pathing isn't the best thing. I feel like maybe he started a little bit late with his king, but now everything should come back. So like the pathing actually turned out not to be too bad for him. So let's see if the part in the end is still in somehow beatable, because there's still the scatter shot alive, there's the king alive, which is dealing a lot of damage, and take a look at all of the ground skeletons. That's crazy. So many ground skeletons are coming to the mines and everything, and take a look at how long the troops are on this one location. It's crazy. Now the bad thing is happening, which is the Royal Champion is getting targeted by the single Inferno Tower, and that's always a bad sign. Like you guys know it, you need the Royal Champion to finish up a base. She's providing so much damage in the end, and especially her ability to finishing up a base is crucial. So this was kind of I think the part where everything stumbled. If the single Inferno Tower wouldn't have locked onto the Royal Champ, I think this could have been still a triple. But yeah, I think he was a bit unlucky with his pathing of the queen. I think if this wouldn't have been the case, he could have like timed and everything a little bit better with the king and so on. But either way, this is a good percentage, so we're looking good right now. 2 out of 4 for us at the moment. So I think this should be a pretty good war for us. So one more time, let's hope Cloud21 can. I think they're already out of the war, but let's see if they can still get their triple to finish this war with at least 1. That would be nice. And let's see the last attack. So the last attack for Cloud21 is going to be Make, who is going to attack me. And as you guys, like if you guys watched a couple of our wars, you normally always know I'm always getting triple. I don't know why, but the bases I'm using at the moment are not the best somehow. So I'm always getting triple, so let's see if Marco can get the triple on me. He's using the E-Drags, and you can see both sweepers are pointing into the wrong direction, since he wants to enter from the left side. And I have 3 ground expos, so let's see if that can work, or if it's not gonna work. We will see. So he's starting off with the E-Drags, loons in behind, or like a couple of loons in the beginning, then loons in behind. I don't know, maybe he should have used two rages in the beginning, not 100% sure. Now a nice freeze on the eagle and the scatter shots. Rage, Gen Trap is over there as well. And now everything is getting closer to the Town Hall. Town Hall is getting activated. Royal Champion is coming in. Not 100% sure if the Royal Champion late was the best decision, because that's where the Clan Castle is. He's sending in the Blimp super late, which means there's tons and tons of damage. The dragon is basically split around the Town Hall, so the Town Hall is staying alive really long. And guys, if you think I'm kinda drunk or whatever, because I had this wonderful Clan Castle of 1 witch, a dragon, and a bay dragon, it was more like, even though we're pretty decent in the war attacks in Tribe, we are completely horrible and we suck at donation. And well, this is what happened, because I wanted to have like mass archers and a witch, but some people didn't show up to donate. So well, that's the Clan Castle I got. Either way, I'm kind of happy because I defended. So 85% for me on defense. So let's see what EveCheck can do on our last attack, and let's see what he's gonna use. And let's see if he can get the triple. So we finish up on a nice and comfy 13 stars. But yeah, this was the last attack of Cloud21. Sadly, they went only with 10 stars. So let's see what EveCheck can do. He's going with the Queen Charge Hybrid in as well. He's going for the Yeti Blimp entry as well. And as you guys know, I don't know. Yes, the Yeti Blimp got nerfed, but it's still so strong. I don't know. Maybe it should be. Either way, he raged up everything, and even though the Yeti Blimp was baited, the Inferno Tower is going down. We were going crazy on voice. It was so funny. Like, you're baiting an entry, and it's still working. Like the Yeti Blimp, like this. This is nuts. Like, he invested so much into defending this entry with like the Tesla, the Black Mines, and everything, and it still worked. Like, what? This is crazy. So EveCheck, successful entry so far. He took out the Inferno Tower. This was the main goal, and obviously luring out the Clan Castle. He's already deploying a baby dragon to make sure that his queen is going into the right path, because the plan from now on is he wants to have his queen going into the channel. He wants to have his king funneling the bottom side of this base, and then he wants to have the hybrid going into the town. That's like the 3 zones, the 3 different parts of the attack. And we have the hybrid in the middle of those 2 hero parts. Now the hybrid is coming in. Always deploy, if you have like the really close building, always deploy the Minus first, then the Warden, then the Hawk Riders, and then the Royal Champ. I feel like that's the best deployment order for hybrid if the first building is kind of close. And well, so far everything is looking good. Warden ability got used, King is on the outside, funneling and everything. Rage on the Queen was a little bit late, sadly, so we had to use the Queen ability as well. But still, everything is looking great. 1 heal spell left, which means he can use that for the last scatter shot. Even the healers are actually switching, and normally this is kind of a bad thing most of the time, but this one is a good one because there's no damage on the Queen anymore, which means it's way better having the healers on the hybrid switching, so the bomb tower and everything back end won't matter that much anymore, and this is looking pretty good. You guys can see the time. 25 seconds left in the replay, so this should be a pretty convincing 3-star from EveCheck, even though it was a little bit scary in the beginning. It was scary in the beginning with the bait on the Yeti Blimp, but he still made it work. EveCheck is a god, we all know that. So nicely done by EveCheck, and this means we finish on a 13-star war with this one. So let's take a look at the result. And like I said, 13 stars to 10 stars from Cloud21 was a nice war. GG's to them. And well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys back tomorrow for another one. And guys, until then, see ya and bye bye.